All right, I'm here as part of DustUS's ongoing coverage of ESL Challenger Atlanta, and I'm here with JamezIRL coming off of a difficult loss against the Mongols. So to start things off with the obvious question, what went wrong there? What do you think was the biggest contributing factor to the loss today?
I mean, they were hitting shots and they picked the right rounds to do the right strats, and they played good mid and late rounds, so they won the game.
Do you think the issues on we know one sort of big stat from this match is the issues on pistols, where the team lost both of the pistol rounds. Do you think that was a major contributing factor to, especially now in CS2, that's MR13 or MR12 rather?
No, I don't think that caused us to lose. I mean, the game was close at the end. We won the force buy on T side, and yeah, we won the force buy, and I don't think you can chalk it up to pistol rounds. Like, for instance, we choose to play like a no A setup on the first gun round. I think that's probably more impactful. So sometimes you just pick the wrong strat.
And thank you, JamezIRL, for the useful laws fixing the camera there. One thing I wanted to ask you is, so this is your first time on a CS main stage in 4 years. How does it feel sort of to be back in the driver's seat again?
Yeah, I really like it. I'm happy to help, whether it's on the stage or behind. It doesn't really matter to me. I don't care so much about the fanfare. I just like being in the competitive element and working towards something as a team. You know, it's about the players. It's not the coaches aren't like, oh, I get to stand behind them. I'm so excited today. It's not about that.
With this, obviously you're coaching because TC wasn't able to make it due to a personal issue. Do you think the team feels his absence here in Atlanta?
Absolutely. Tiaan's an absolute pleasure to have around all the time. He's always cracking jokes, and he's just a smiley guy. But he's helping from afar with strats and prep. So.
And with this, you recently returned to the world of Counter-Strike after a couple years in Valorant, returning in July to take over as the assistant coach at Complexity. Did you feel you had a lot of catching up to do when coming back to CS?
Kind of. Of course, I feel like it'd be arrogant to say no, because people are always coming up with strats and meta, so there's always a lot to keep up with. Even if I take a month off from CS, there's still a lot to keep up with, but the basics remain the same. You can still coach people. It took me a while to get to the point where I felt confident adding strats, because I kind of needed to know what the whole universe of possible strats was at the time, but it's not that big of a deal.
And I feel like, I'm sure you expanded more on it in the Valorant world, but from a CS perspective, why did you leave Valorant behind to come back to the game where you started?
It's not exactly public why I left 100 Thieves, and I don't really want to make it public. It's not the most savory thing. It's better for all involved if I don't. But I'm happy to go back and forth between games. It doesn't matter to me. If a Valorant team calls me up and this contract's ending, I'll consider it the same. It's all the same feeling to me.
And then a last sort of self-indulgent question for me. Obviously, for a long time, and previously before going to Valorant, you worked on Torqued and Ghost with Steel, and now he's recently learned the news that his Valve ban's going to come to the end at the start of 2025. As someone who spent so much time working with Steel, what do you think he still has a chance to do something at this late stage in his career?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's no definite cap on the age at which somebody can play. I mean, Josh has a great mind for the game, and he's really hardworking, and he's always getting better. So I feel like if he wants to do it, he'll make it happen, whatever it is.
All right, and that's some interesting news to hear from the world of CS. Thank you so much for your time, JamezIRL, and we'll see you guys in action later in the event.
Today.
Today?
Yeah.